Hey, well, it is Monday in the park, beginning of August. Hi. Today, I'm going to tell you a little story about me being a bank robber. That's what today's story is going to entail. But to understand the story, we got to go back, way back to 1983. This is the spring of 1983. I know this because I was going to Mount Hood Community College at the time, and the story takes place during midterm week in the spring. I had made my move over from radio broadcasting to theater at that point, and so I really can remember what I was doing. I'm going to Mount Hood Community College because Reagan cut the student loan program, and anyway, never mind, let's not even start into that. But I'm going to Mount Hood Community College with great friends, and I had moved from the radio program to the theater program because when I went into college, I was told, as many young artists are, why don't you find something, Kevin, that uses theater, that uses acting, because it's very difficult to become an actor as a profession. So I thought, radio uses a theatrical premise, so let's go into radio, because radio's not going anywhere. We're never going to lose that, right? There's always going to be radio. So at the beginning, I go into radio broadcasting. There wasn't enough theater in it for me, so we quickly kind of moved that back over to theater. And this story takes place, as I said, during midterm week. And I'd been living with my girlfriend, and we were right at the entrance to 206, going up to Mount Hood. And I always get picked up in the morning to go to school by my friend Dwayne, who lived in Sandy. And here was our routine. He would show up, we'd load up into his car. He would then drive over to the bank, the U.S. Bank, which is by the big Fred Meyer over there in Gresham. And he would cash a $5 check that his mother would give him every day for lunch at school. This is back in the days of checks, remember? Anyway, so we would then go over to Fred Meyer, pick up something that would resemble a breakfast and take it to school, and then we would repeat that every day of the week. So on this day, of course, something extra special happened. But to understand this, we got to go back a day before. When we were in the bank the day before this day, we had noticed one of the wanted posters on the wall looked to be someone who we were very familiar with. And this guy in school had a dubious reputation of being a shoplifter. He'd brag about it. And so we saw this picture on the wall at the bank, wanted, $500 reward, call the FBI. We were kind of mesmerized with it. So the next day when we go into the bank, well, it occupied all of our time. We're like, is it him? Is that the guy? So we go in. Dwayne gives off his check to the teller, and right next to the teller is, of course, this poster. So we gravitate over to that, and in our confusion and elation that this character on the poster is certainly our friend, or this person that we knew. Well, Dwayne had totally forgotten to finish the transaction. We just left. He had given the check over, the woman had left the counter, and when she'd left the counter, we saw the poster and we forgot. We just left. And we went out to the car, and when we got to the car, a couple of terrible things happened. One, the car would not start. incredibly dead battery, just won't turn over. It has done this before. We know what's wrong with it. It's dead. And in that moment, Dwayne had remembered, oh, I never got that $5 bill for the check that I handed over to the teller. So we decided he'll go back into the bank and we'll head over to Fred Meyer and we'll pick up some stuff and then we'll just catch the bus and get to school so we can take our midterm exams, which were very important. And so this happens. And this is where the story kind of falls into two parts. The first part is my experience of this story, and the second part is, of course, Dwayne's experience of this story that I only know from his telling of it. But we'll go right to my experience of the story. But we're going to hold off for a second and splice this together a little bit later because there's just way too many people here. Because our story, and I knew this story was going to get to be a little bit too long from one of these podcasts, as YouTube only gives you about 10 minutes to record. So I knew this was going to run a little longer. So we're going to break this baby up into two parts. And to hear what happens in the ongoing saga of me and Dwayne, my crying girlfriend in the bank, then you're going to have to tune in to the second portion of it, which will be labeled Part 2. Also, hey, don't forget to like these videos on YouTube and subscribe if you watch them a lot. Bye.